Hello students, today we will be discussing about the types of class function. So basically a member function of a class is categorized into three categories. Okay, means the member functions which we are defining inside a class, these are having three categories. And what are the three categories? These are accessors, mutators and managers. These are the three categories in which a member function is defined. Okay, so now first let us understand what is an accessor function. Now, accessor function are those member function that allow us to access the data member of an object. So this is the definition. This you must remember. You can write it down as a note also, that there are basically the member functions of a class are basically categorized into three categories: accessors, mutators and managers. This is one thing. Second thing is, what is the definition of accessor function? These are those member functions which allow us to access the data member of a class. Means inside a class, wherever we are using a data member, means we generally know that the class is having data member and member function. So data member are basically the states or characteristics of an object, and the member function denotes the behavior of the object. Okay, so accessor function are those member function which accesses the data members of a class. Okay, so now you see, this is a simple example which is given to you so that you can understand the what is accessor function and what is mutator function. Okay, now one thing that you must know is that accessor functions do not change the value of the data members. This you must remember. The accessor member functions or the accessor function will never change the value of the data member. It cannot update the value of the data member. For example, suppose let us consider a class student. This student is having a private visibility mode, and inside this private section there are data members: roll number, name, marks and div. These are the four data members. Now in the public section we have defined one member function which is void read student, and this read student will read the data, will read the input, means it will read the roll number, name, marks of a particular student. Okay, so this is basically for the input. So the user will give some input and that will be read from the keyboard. Now void display student, disp student, this is another member function which is used to display, print the result, means printing of the roll number, name, marks. Okay, now another member function is considered here, int get roll number, and another one is float get marks. Now you see this one is gray colored highlighted. Why? Because these methods or the member function are the accessor methods. Okay, here in the side it is written that these are what? Accessor methods. Why these are accessor methods? You see, int get roll number means what? We want the roll number, means we want to get the roll number. Now this roll number is given by the user in the function read student, means using the read student function the user is giving the roll number, and in the get roll number we are returning the roll number. Now this roll number is what value it is taking? The value that is given by the user. There is no change in the value. The value that is given by the user as input, this value is returned here, return roll number. Suppose the user is giving roll number as 5. Okay, user is giving roll number as 5. Then what will happen? This 5 will be stored in this roll number data member. Now here int get roll number, return roll number means what? It will return exactly that value 5 which is given as input by the user. Now here there is no change, no updation. Again in the float get marks, the user will give some marks, okay, as the input. Suppose marks is given as 80 here. So this 80 will be stored in the marks data member or the marks variable. Now in this float get marks, return marks is assigned. So return marks means it will give the output marks. It will return the marks value. What is the marks value? 80. This 80 is assigned by the user as input. So this will be returned as output here. Okay. So here you see what the user is giving as input. There is no change made in the program, or there is no change made by these functions. These functions are returning the exact same thing which the user has given as input. User has given roll number as 5 and marks as 80. So this function is exactly returning the same value. There is no updation. So this is what this function is known as accessor function. Because we have already studied that in accessor function there is no change of value in the data member, and here we have seen that there is no change in the value, and this is what the accessor method signifies. Okay. Now you see we have again taken another function which is void calc div. Means you have to calculate the division of the student according to the marks. So here we have assigned certain condition. If marks is greater than equal to 60, then division equal to 1, that we know that it is first division. If the marks is greater than equal to 50, then division second division, and else if marks greater than 40, then division is third division, else division is fail. Means if the student has secured marks less than 40, then the student has failed. Okay. So using these conditions we have signified the or we have got the result of various division, what the student has got as a division, whether he is first division, second division, third, or the student has failed. So now here you see this division is also a data member that is assigned to the class student. Clear? Now this division is updated in every step according to the condition. Means in order to satisfy a particular condition, this division is upgraded to some value. Means this division is having some changes in its value. So this is what, this is the mutator method. Okay. Mutator method, always remember, whenever any modify value is given, or whenever any data member is modified with some other value, then that method is termed as mutator method. So here division is upgraded in every stage. Division is upgraded according to certain conditions. So this method calc div is what? It is a mutator function, because every time the data member is modified with certain value. But this get roll number and get marks are accessor methods, because the data member is not modified. Okay. Why? Because the user is giving some roll number and marks, and exactly in that way it is returning that one. Means the roll number is exactly written in the same way and marks is also written in the same way. So these are what? Accessor function method. Okay. So always remember that accessor method are those methods that allow us to access the data member without changing its value. Okay. And mutator function are what? Mutator methods are those member functions or methods that access the data member by modifying its value. Means it modifies the value. Okay. So now you see here the definition of mutator function. So these are the member functions which allow us to change the data members of an object. So this we have covered. Accessor methods are what? They do not modify the data member, but mutator function are what? They modify the data member by upgrading its value. Okay. Like the calc div is a mutator function. This is the example. Okay. Now manager function, the third one is, these are the member function with specific functions, example constructor and destructor, that deal with initializing and destroying class instances. Means whenever the object of a class is defined, so when the object of a class is defined, it needs to occupy certain memory space. So for this we use constructor. Constructor initializes a memory space for an object, and when that object's work is over, it is taken out of the memory, and so we need the destructor so that it can destruct that object. and it can take out it from the memory. So because our memory is very less, so unnecessary occupation of the memory can lead to many types of disadvantages. So whenever an object is assigned a memory, it is assigned for some work, but when that object's work is over, it needs to be taken out of the memory, and this is done by the destructor, that is destruction of the object. So this constructor and destructor we will read in our next chapter, that is chapter number 5. This constructor and destructor is elaborately mentioned there. Okay, so these are basically the three functions, types of class functions that we use. First one is accessor function, second is mutator function, and third one is manager function. Now why accessors and mutators? This is a question. Means you might have a question in your mind that why do you think a class should have an accessor or mutator? Why can't or why should not you declare everything as public so that data members become directly accessible by passing accessor? So this must be in your mind also, that what is the need of this accessor and mutators? We can make all the data members as public. What is the need of private member? We can make the data members public so that it is directly accessible by passing an accessor. Accessor can directly call that public member because we know that public member is directly accessible. Then what is the need of that private member and initialization of that accessors and mutators? So yes, you guessed it right. By making everything public, data becomes unsafe. Why we use the concept of private members? Because we know that OOP's main concept is data hiding, so that data remains secured. So that data hiding concept is enforced by whom? It is enforced by the private members. So if everything is becoming public, then what is the use of data hiding, and where will the concept of object oriented programming go? Okay, so this will create a problem. Means my data will become unsafe and vulnerable, defeating the very purpose of object oriented programming. Means anyone can access my data. My data will not remain secured. So by providing accessors and mutators, we make sure that data is edited in desired manner through a mutator. So what is the use of accessor and mutators? Accessors are basically used to access the exact value of the data member. Okay, the data member that is assigned a particular value, that particular value exactly we need to recover, and for that we use the accessor methods. And what is the use of mutators? Suppose in certain data member we need some modification, so in order to modify or edit some data member, we need the mutator function. So this is the need of these accessors and mutators. Further, if a user wants to know current value of a private data member, he can get it through a accessor function. Means what is the current value of my private data member? This can be achieved only by the mutator function. So for their functionality, accessors and mutators are something also called getters and setters. Okay, means accessors are also known as getters and mutators are also known as setters. Okay, so if the question is coming as what is getter and setter, you don't become confused. Getter is accessor and setter is mutator. Okay, now you see object orientation. After discussing the role and functionality of accessor and mutators, let us now learn how we can place accessors and mutators under their appropriate sections, that is private and public. While defining a class, you need just to keep in mind the following guidelines. So what we need to keep in mind while defining a class? First one is declare implementation specific fields of class under private section. Means basically you place the data members of your class under the private section. Second thing is provide public accessor and mutator functions so that user can use and connect the fields data members of the class. But you must remember that if the data member is your private also, your accessor and mutator function should be public. If it is not public, then from outside the class you cannot be able to access the accessor and mutator function. So it must be public so that it is accessible from anywhere inside the program. Third is often provide an accessor and mutator for each instance variable that lets you get the current value of specific private data member and set the current value of that data member. Often you give what? You provide an accessor and mutator for an instance variable. You give one instance variable, you provide one accessor and mutator for each instance variable so that you get the current value of a specific data member. Like this one, we have got this roll number, we have returned this return roll number. So roll number is returning what? The active value of the roll number that we have assigned. So you must give such an accessor and mutator so that it gives you the current value of the specific private data member and set the current value of that data member. Like the roll number that we have given, in the roll number, the current value that it was having, the accessor function was able to access that current value only. Now fourth point is what? While changing implementation, make sure accessors and mutators still provide users what they accept. Now if you want to make changes in your accessor and mutator function, then you must keep in mind one thing, that what the user is expecting, that must be provided by the accessors and mutator function even if you have made any changes in the implementation. So these are the 4 points that you must remember while defining a class. Okay, so now we will see a program basically where there will be use of array. Array will be used as class object, and we will see one program. If we want to declare an array to hold 10 student class type objects, so we need to declare an array type like this. Class is student and this is the object which is holding the 10 students value. So this program we will see now. Okay.